All praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Rachak, Kodash, Salakia. Double honors to the apostles and elders, Zachary Bowstone, that wrote well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Through the Spirit, one of the elders here, a great millstone, LA, was expounding on the disposition of the elect, okay? And on a personal basis, I'm not gonna fucking name drop who it was, because it's there's prudence in maintaining anonymity. Okay, there's wisdom with not fucking airing shit out. You know, especially the times that we're coming into. But that brother was going in on how really an elder, how not only the elect, but on a personal basis, that he is depressed all the time. And it's the spirit that, it's the same for all of us, okay? And when you go into the scriptures and you observe the disposition of these men that this book is written about, they had the same, they were in the same spirit, okay? And we're going to show you, like, it's not a fucking problem. It's not a bad thing to be depressed, all right? And to clarify, it's not on the aspect of Esau Edom's clinical diagnosis for depression, the shit that he'll give you fucking Xanax for, or prescribe you some antidepressants, fucking mood stabilizers, shit that'll get you fucked up, that people take recreationally, that can get them high as a fucking kite. No, we're talking about depressed in the scriptural sense. All right, in when you go into the etymology of that, which we're about to do, but it's this whole concept. We're gonna explore it and show you. It's worded in different ways. Okay. What do you think the disposition of a man who's sighing and crying for the abominations that be done? Okay, somebody who's fucking, in mourning. What kind of fucking disposition do you think that would be? Okay, it would be low. But let's just jump right into it. This word lowly, all right, and the Apostle Tahar brings this out all the time. We know lowly means is indicative of the elect, the needy, the lowly, amongst other terms. The lowly is not, a fucking one of the other nations, a fucking Hamite, a fucking Ishmaelite, a Moabite that has, that's in this type of disposition as well. No, it is only reserved for this term for the nation of Israel. But we know that the elect is really in this spirit. It's not, they're not, just because a nigga or a spick or 2/3 of the nation of Israel are catching hell and going through shit, they're not really in this, they're not really in the spirit. But I pulled this up in the Blue Letter search. This is like the search module for the Blue Letter Bible for the word lowly. And it's in the scriptures 6 times. Okay. And look, we'll scope out this Psalm 138:6. Though Yahweh be high, he hath respect unto the lowly. But I thought he's not a respecter of persons. Okay, but really he only has respect for one allotment of people, and that's the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, but the proud he knoweth afar off. Okay. It says in Proverbs 3:34, he giveth grace unto the lowly. says, with the lowly is wisdom in Proverbs 11. It's better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly in Proverbs 16 and 19, Salakia. Let's see. Wow. Zechariah 9 and 9 in reference to Yahushua. Lowly, right, and riding upon an ass. And then he tells you himself in Matthew, the 11th chapter, that he's meek and lowly in heart. But let's go ahead and break this down. This is the spirit we're supposed to fucking be in. Really, to be blunt, this is the spirit we're supposed to fucking be in. We're not supposed to be in a fucking a high mind. We're not supposed to have a fucking chipper disposition like you see the people of this fucking world. All right, like everything is fucking peaches and cream. Like everything is fucking all gravy. And that's what these fucking niggas say. I forgot this one faggot ass rock star. Let me see who it is. Because I've quoted it before. But he has this quote that people play all the time. And they recant this and they live by this. Okay? One of the fuckers on one of these radio stations in SoCal, he says, he said this is like the daily motto. Let's see. See who quoted that. Okay, so I guess that's fictional. Fat fuck. Oh, and look at this fucking slut. It's just popped up. Miley Cyrus. Life is all about having a good time. Okay. But I guess this is from Spinal Tap. Well, I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's a movie. But I guess that's where it's quoted from. But people actually live by this motto. All right, that's not what spirit we're supposed to fucking be in. All right, the true men of the Lord would be sighing and crying. And we're gonna go into that too through the spirit. But let's grab this lowly. The blue letter. And it'll explain exactly what the elder was talking about. It's the Hebrew word chapal. And it says, humiliated, right? Low, humble. Because what humble means in the etymology is to be humble. Humble comes from Salakia. Not proud or haughty. It's beautiful. Not arrogant or CASS. So to be humble, obviously, is the polar opposite to being proud and fucking puffed up. Okay. But the etymology of the word humble is humus, which means ground, which means low. All right? Literally. Low in height, low in station, humble of condition or spirit. Humiliated, lowly as substance. And that's heavy because this is like humiliation for us in this time. Okay, in multiple avenues, okay, on multiple angles is this humiliation for us, all right? to take the low, all right, to pretty much, we have to maintain even a humble, what do they call that? I believe it's humble means. Okay. Brothers could have opportunities to do all kind of fucking shit in this world, but we purposefully, intentionally, we refrain from that shit. Okay? We, through intention, we will shirk or fucking shine on these different opportunities for promotion and growth in this society. And no problem. No fucking problem. It says depressed. There it is. And the Strong's definition is straight up to be depressed. Let's see. All right, so let's go into this real quick. In Ezekiel, and this is what the Heavenly Father does every time he pretty much saves them that are in the spirit. This didn't just happen in the history, in this time when this went down. What this is written about in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, but we bring this out in reference to the end times. Because if the Heavenly Father saved them that sighed and cried for their abominations in previous empires, he's gonna fucking do it again. The Most High changes not. That's why the scriptures were written aforetime for our learning, so we can figure out pretty much the way the heaven. Let's go into this. Bring out that depressed real quick. Depressed in the etymology means deprimere, which literally just means to press down. Okay? To be pressed down, meaning to be humbled. Because when you're pressed down, that means you're low. Okay? Humble, which means ground. See? Humus. That's all. Nothing fucking complex. Let's see. Ezekiel 9 and 4. The word sigh. Let's read it first. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay? Let's get this word to sigh. And you we are to perform our own deductive reasoning. All right? We are to conduct our own assessment on to reason if them that sigh and cry, based off of this, what we're about to read, if that's depictive of you being in a chipper spirit, you being fucking, that's why it says, right, let's go ahead and grab that too, hold on. It says to groan in pain or grief, to gasp. It's the Hebrew word anach, okay, to groan, to mourn. Okay, that's solid. So when you're in pain, okay, when you're grieving, when you're mourning, You're not in having a good fucking time. You're in a low spirit, and that's a great place to be. Okay, it says in pain or grief, right? Well, what does it tell us in here, Ecclesiastes? Salakia, Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. It is better to go in 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men. And basically, when you're up, there's only one way to go. When you're up, you're already up, so you can't go up. You can only go down. There's only one way to go, and that's to go down. To get casted down, to get fucking to you're pretty much on your way to descent, which means to a falling downward. That's why it says pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. But when you're low, there's only one way to go, which is to go up. All right, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. See? So when you're fucking sad, and sad is not even bad. I think we broke that down as well. Sadness. It just means sorrow. See? Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. See, so it's better. It's better to be in this state. It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. See, but the heart of the fool is in the house of mirth. If you can only understand. And these people are in that spirit, just like Ezekiel, the 21st chapter says. They're making mirth when destruction is about to go down. But we're wise for being in mourning, not only for the abominations that be done, but for what's coming upon the earth. Let's grab this word sad in the AV 1611. It's the glossary for the scriptures, specifically for the 1611. Let's see. Yep, here it is. It says serious or grave, not gay, light, or volatile. So we're supposed to be in a so-called sad spirit, like it just said. The heart of the wise is sad, okay, and in a good way. This is a good thing. Sorrow is better than laughter, okay. Heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. Okay, but sad, it just said to be serious, and grave is fire as well. When you go into what grave is, sadness is seriousness, sedate gravity. Okay, knowing what type of destruction is about to befall this fucking place. Let's grab this word sad and grave in the etymology. It tells us in Joel, the first chapter, that considering destruction is at hand. Uh, it says we should be calling a solemn assembly. So which is synonymous with the seriousness. Okay. Grave as an adjective. Let's see. Influential, respected. Wow. And when you're in that spirit, it's like a vibration. It's an energy that causes other people to be like that. When someone's in a grave spirit, in a serious type spirit, solemn spirit, it's fucking palpable. And the people, they just start to follow suit pretty much. They get in that same mode. All right? Real quick, they jump straight. They could be laughing and playing and goofing the fuck around. But you come in this spirit and they tighten up quick. It influences them to do it, right? Influential, respected, and it does. It garners respect. When you're in this spirit, it says weighty dignity. Okay? Terrible, dreadful, heavy, ponderous, burdensome, loaded, pregnant of matters. And pregnant likened to its full pondering on these matters. Weighty, important. See that? See, solemn or sober. There you go. Because we are pondering on the destruction is on the fucking docket, and it's likened unto you having a burden, but it's not bad, you know. It's a weight. It's a weight that we are to bear, primarily the elect of the nation of Israel, the wise. Okay, all right. Just like it said, when you consider the fact that a sword is being sharpened, should we then make mirth? But no, on the fucking polar contrary. Well, the polar opposite on the fucking contrary. We're supposed to be fucking in a extremely solemn nature. And ponder on these things. All right? That's why it tells you, well, I'll just quote some of the ones for sake of brevity of this lesson. But for the brevity of this lesson, that a wise man does scarce smile. You know, a wise man doesn't smile much. Okay? And then it tells you that with knowledge comes sorrow. Okay? And with wisdom cometh grief. So the more wisdom and knowledge you obtain, the more grief and sorrow that it comes with it. Okay? And this is just for a time. This is for this time. We're supposed to be in this fucking spirit. Because look, look what it's going to translate to. Let's grab this. Actually, we have to finish that Ezekiel. That word sighing, sigh and cry. Let's get that word cry. So a true wise man would be depressed right now, in the good sense. the Hebrew word Anak. Yep, Anak. To shriek, to cry, to groan, to lament, to make lamentation. Okay? To be in anguish. Okay? To moan silently. And we do. We're crying, but we're not fucking boo-hooing and shedding tears and shit like that. Sometimes Jake will shed tears, but in a private setting, because it gets overwhelming, and certain brothers in this camp, right, within Great Millstone can attest to that. See, and this is the thing, you don't really, it could be the case, but not from the surface when you look at these other camps. Okay, they're really in more of a turn up type spirit. Okay, they're having fucking lots of functions, man. Unity camps, and some these jakes, they have fucking concerts. They get together because they show them like a big room with their fucking women and children and shit. A banquet hall, and some are doing what Israelite wrestling matches, Israelite cookouts, Israelite talent shows. Okay, weddings, all type of shit. Okay, they do not fit the characteristics of the elect. Okay, it doesn't fit it's not the resemblance of these men that you read about that were in mourning. Let's grab this real quick and pretty much close out with this, because what else does it tell you in the New Covenant? I believe it is. Yep, it tells you that we're to have a lowliness of mind. And the lowliness of mind is another thing, another aspect of that depression. It means to have a lowly opinion of oneself. So not be proud and like thinking that you're fucking hot shit, and that you're flawless and you can do no wrong, and I'm that motherfucking guy. You view yourself as the prophets when they said things like, I am. What did John the Baptist say? I'm not worthy to unlatch Yahushua's sandals, right? I'm not. Said, my righteousness is likened unto filthy rags. Another man of the Lord said. We stay in this type of sentiment. This is a heavy thing about the scriptures that the people don't really understand when they read this book, and a fucking Christian, really an anti-Christian. Okay? They go to church and they think it's all about being fucking happy-go-lucky. Right? A fucking party and mirth type spirit. This is in Isaiah 53 and 3. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and he hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. And this is speaking of Yahushua, who's our ultimate example. It told when you go into that word, followers, that Because the scriptures tell us we are to be followers. And why not fucking show you? Followers of Hamashiach. Okay? Be ye followers of me. Okay? Even as I also of Hamashiach. So he's following Yahushai. We are to follow him, Paul. But let's see what that word means. Look in the NLT, it says imitate. And that's one of the main, that's what it means, to imitate. A follower mimetes. It as an imitator, see? So we are to imitate him, to emulate Yahushai, okay? And Paul, Salakia, we're to emulate Yahushai, and Paul, who is of the same spirit, but as all the men of the Lord were in, okay? But as it said, he was a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Let's go back in there and continue on in that. '53. Let's go here. Let's go into that word, sorrows. Sorrows, Salakia, is maka'ab, right? And it says to be in pain, sorrow, right? Mental pain, physical pain, right? Mainly mental pain, which means to be depressed. Because that's something of the mind, okay? When you meditate on the fact that the Heavenly Father and His Son and their ways are crucified here, which means to be X'd out of all the filthiness and wickedness that is being done, all the fucking abominations, like it just said in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, all right? When you think about how there's, Wamba talks about this, how can you, when you meditate what's going down in the world, how could you be in a like a fucking joyful spirit? We know what we're joyful about, but ultimately like this, how could you just be in a like a happy vibration, understanding that they're child trafficking, right? Child sex trafficking, fucking human trafficking is one of the most booming businesses across the planet. All right. How could you be in a chipper spirit when you consider the fact that this place is getting polluted to a fucking unfathomable level, something that your conscience can't even fucking perceive, that type of level. All right, to know that the agendas that this man is rolling out, all right, pretty much to that whole thing with transhumanism and this technocratic society is to pretty much have complete and total fucking control of the masses of the people. It's fucking slavery, okay? And worse than any slavery that's been, because they have never had the technology to fucking read your thoughts, to give you shit like thought crime, okay? Spy on your every move and your fucking thoughts, okay? It's fucking insane. Let's see. Let's go into this word, grief. grief, the Hebrew word is chalai. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, yep. Chalai. And it means, that's like a different application right there. To be affliction. Affliction, it says sadness. There you go. Sadness. And then Apostle Gabar, I'll never forget a quote that he had. He said, it pains me that America is not destroyed. Okay? Because this is our ultimate desire. Proverbs 13 and 12. We'll go ahead and finish off with this. It says, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. You know, he did that heavy lesson a couple years back that he said, it saddens me, it fucking pains me that America has not been destroyed. Because this is ultimately all that we look for. This is what we hasten to. This is our ultimate desire, is to see this place fucking thrown down and the Heavenly Father's eternal righteous kingdom set up. All right? Let's actually give this last finale in Joel 1 and 14. Sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly. And this is in reference to destruction. When destruction comes upon the land, when all these evils, and we're way into this. We're like in the beginning, like somewhat to mid. If you consider we're only a couple years away from this thing being done away with, you know, if we're only, even say if it was a couple years from the implementation of the Mark of the Beast, which followed shortly thereafter by all these fucking calamities, and really they're simultaneous, and then shortly thereafter, the fervent heat that this world is preserved into, the destruction by fire, chariot fire, and the arrows, right? The sword bathed in heaven. If we're only even if it's a couple years away, even 3 years away, 5 years away, we're fucking close. We're pretty much on the moderate level to really past the mid level of being into the evil day, and it has. These days are fucking evil, man. A lot of destruction in different forms has already been unleashed in this place. Fucking so-called natural disasters are rocking this motherfucker. Okay. One of the main things is like economic turmoil, right? The people's fucking cost of living is fucking deplorable. It's bottom fucking level, to where it's the life as you know it is pretty much unaffordable for the masses of the people, right? They fuck struggling. They're on the brink of oblivion. All right. So this is in reference to a time of destruction, and just as we mentioned, you can apply these scriptures to the current day. All right. That's what the people don't understand. When we read these scriptures, they say, oh no, that was talking about before, when Babylon, Neo-Babylon, right? Back in the Assyrian, that's back during the Assyrian Empire. No, that's back during the Babylonian Empire. No, that's back during 70 AD. No, but wait, if the Heavenly Father has done this each time that he's destroyed an empire or he's brought destruction upon the planet, you can see that there's a fucking pattern here. Okay? So when destruction comes, this is what he's telling you to do. Sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of Yahweh, your power, and cry unto the Lord. Okay? Are we not to do this in this last go around when destruction comes? Fuck yeah, we are. It says, alas, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. Okay? So we're supposed to be in this spirit of solemnity, of sadness, of sorrow, to be depressed in a good sense, of course, to be lowly. Okay? And then, as it said, through that, then you can get to the other side. Like it says, through the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. All right? That's for times that we're coming in. And what does it also say? That there's been main things that have been deemed to make a man happy. One of them is the fall of our enemies. Let's go ahead and grab this, actually. There's too much heat in a good sense. There's too much, these scriptures is pure edification. Yep, the poor and the needy is in reference to Israel. Luke 6:21, blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. So in the days that are coming, in the destruction, he's gonna flip. He's gonna flip that sadness, just like it said. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick. But when it comes, how does it word it? When it comes, Salakia. See. But when it desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Right? So when the destruction of this place comes, we're gonna be rejoicing at that time. He's gonna flip it, and then we're gonna go into the kingdom after we're willing, we're a part of that number. But that's what the elect is gonna do. Okay. And when we have this, see, regardless, brothers used to say this, even if I'm not going to be saved, we can't wait to see this place fucking destroyed. That's going to bring us such fucking satisfaction and joy. It says, blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. See, in that day, blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. So because we're doing this now, right, one of the Bay Brothers were talking about it, has to apply to someone. So us being in this spirit now, in the latter day, he's going to reverse it, cause us now to be joyful, right? That it says here in verse 25, woe unto you, the last stanza, right? Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Okay. So it's showing you that it's not wise to be in that spirit of laughter and motherfucking mirth. Okay. Jolly spirit. Chipper. Fucking relishing and engaging into the lusts of this society. All right? Because they're going to be fucking destroyed. So tawada to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for putting the Spirit upon us. And this is nothing that we really contrive. Meaning it's not something you try to force and fucking, this is not something that we really consciously like try to that word contrive is like to force it. Okay? This is just, it comes naturally to be in the Spirit when you truly ponder on these scriptures. Okay? What our people did as a nation, that's another major source of mourning. Okay? The state of Israel as a nation. All right? The state of the world. There's a quote by, what is that one brother's name from Dallas? I can't think of his name. But he's done some lessons with Apostle Rakah. Oh, is it Yatazak, I believe? But he said this, quote end quote, he said, there isn't a day in this place where there isn't a day that goes by being in this place where we don't at least one time strongly desire to be in the spirit world. Okay? And to paraphrase that, meaning there's not a day that goes by where we don't desire to be loosed from this place. And the Heavenly Father he's going to make good on his word, on his prophecy. He's going to destroy this fucking place. And he's going to exalt them that are abased. Right? That word, sorrow or sad, what did it say? Lowly. That word lowly that we start off with, it said to be abased. Okay? So it's profitable to be in this mode. And we give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for having our mind in this basically this frequency, all right, and to hasten his coming. With that, shalom to the hopeful elect. Call Logim Liya Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rechak Kodash.